this particular live. You're going to enjoy the conversation at hand. So when you come in, you might as well prepare yourself for an interesting conversation. I can't even give it out because I'm pretty excited about it. It is something that most of us do not wish to talk about who are Masons. We don't, because we don't know about it. We don't want to touch it. But tonight I'm going to talk about the one and only Aleister Crowley. This guy right here is going to be interesting. I'm telling you, we're going to talk about Aleister Crowley. And I have some books on him. And I'm going to share with you some of my thoughts in regards to his books and what I really think in regards to Freemasonry. I really have conversations about Masonry a lot with different people. But tonight, we're going to touch on that. Crowley. Is it Crowley or Crawley? Okay. I think that's wrong, Wishful Master, but let me tell you how they got his name here spelled. It is because I just saw it. Crowley. That's how they got it spelled here. And but tonight we're gonna get into this because it's interesting. It's interesting, and I say that with all due respect to those of you who have turned Masonry into this social club. You know, and you gonna get it tonight. They spell it Crowley. Aleister Crowley. That's how they spell his name. So we're gonna get into this conversation tonight because I do a lot of reading on Masonry. And some of the reading I do, I put it down because I'm like, do I really want to go down this rabbit hole? I say that because a lot of times most of us don't want to go down a rabbit hole. We don't. We like the goody. We like the goody stuff. But Masonry, I mean I'm talking about real Masonry, the Masonic order, not what we know today. I ain't talking about that BS we know today. I'm not talking about the recognition and the grips. I'm not talking about none of that. Although that may play a part. But I'm talking about that real nitty-gritty stuff, the stuff that people are uncomfortable talking about, who have not yet indulged themselves in the true essence of Masonry. I'm talking about behind the scenes. Let me go and look up these words and see what they mean type of Masonry. I'm talking about what is this? Now let me get a better understanding of what does Wishful Master means. You know, what does the senior deacon mean? What does these words means that we so proudly profess when we're in Masonry? So we're going to have that type of conversation. Some of you, after we've had this conversation, are not going to like it. And some of you may say, I want to know more. But that's totally up to you. But I tell you this, what we do today in Masonry is really, really, really watered down. A lot of people say, oh, it come from the stone masons and they was using them working tools. That's the goody part. That's the like, yeah, okay, I'm a Mason and I gotta take this working tool and I gotta take it and chip off the superficial and I gotta use this matter to do. No, that's great. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff for you people who want to be part of a social club. That's for you social club Masons. I'm talking about you Masons who really go and indulge yourselves. What time we got? What time it is?
It's 7:40.
It's 7:40. I see you at 8 o'clock. I ain't gonna hold you long. I'm live. I ain't gonna hold you long.
Live.
I'm live right now. Give me just a few minutes. Go have one like I'm having one.
I'm about to have one.
Have one and then we'll talk. Then we're gonna leave. We're going to the Greek show tonight.
At 8 o'clock?
Yeah, thereabouts. I'm not gonna hold you long. You know. Go get one. It comes down to numbers, colors, zodiac, and signs. Michael Foster, you're on to something. I'm going to give that to you. You're on to something. But I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Greetings. How you doing, James? Greetings from Texas. All right. So I'm gonna say this. I have two books right here, and I've had them on here before. All right, but I've been doing a little reading. So I heard somebody say today, Aleister Crowley was a clandestine Mason. He was not a clandestine Mason. He was part of Anglo-Saxon Lodge 343. That's the lodge he was part of, and it was from the Grand Lodge of France. So he was not a clandestine Mason. Okay? Let's set that out there right now. Aleister Crowley, he was part of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn. Okay? That is a secret, another secret society. I'm familiar with the Golden Dawn. All right? And he was part of other, I'm not going to say Masonic organization, but other societies that he was part of. It's a Rosicrucian order. Okay. So he was involved with quite a bit of organizations. But I'm going to tell you this man was on to something. He was on to something. And a lot of people wanted to vilify him, but he was onto something. If you have read anything by, what's my other guy? He wrote quite a few books too. His name will come back to me. But even with that being said, Aleister Crowley was onto something. And a lot of people want to vilify him, to downplay him like if he didn't know what he was talking about. This man absolutely knew what he was talking about. He knew exactly what he was talking about. A lot of us don't do any real Masonic reading, so therefore you don't really understand it. They are having a function at the hotel. Brother, I don't know which hotel. He was a part of the, yes, he was a part of the OTO also, I think. Yeah. Back in 1904, somewhere along up in there. But you're absolutely right. But when we think of Aleister Crowley, you think of all of the mystical things people said. He was a Satanist. He was a this and he was a that. But I'm telling you, please go read his books and remove those thoughts that people have already placed in your head regarding who he was. The man himself had indulged himself in such esoteric readings until it made it seem like he was crazy. He wasn't. He understood how to conjure things. He understood the meaning of words and how they was able to move and to do the things that he wanted to do. He was able to go in and pull out. He was that guy. And there are very few of them who are able to go in and pull out. Manly P. Hall was one of them. Oh, I know quite a few got Manly P. Hall books. If you really studied Manly P. Hall, he was able to go in and pull out. When I say that, that means that people who understand language and words can do that because they know the meaning of the word and how to use this word from the etymology of the word and be able to conjure things. People say, well, I'm going to put a curse on you. When you don't understand the word and how to use it, you can't do it. But when you know the word and what its meaning behind the word, you can do some things with them words. That's why the tongue is so dangerous. Most of us don't want to indulge in it. Most of us like the club Freemason. The club Freemason. That means, hey, I'm going to lodge me tonight. Yeah. We're going to go out. We're going to party. That's club Freemason. But most of the active Masons do not indulge themselves in it. They don't. So this is why a lot of people say, you don't know what you're talking about. And you don't because you don't indulge yourself into active reading in the gods of Freemasonry. You go back, you'll catch that later. And I've decided to do that. And in the process, I'm like, okay. Like take for instance, why do Masons say in the name of the grand architect of the universe? Why? I'll wait. Because I know it's some Masons on here tonight. So why do you say the grand architect of the universe? It's no secret. I'm not divulging any secrets. I'm asking a question. Why do Masons say the grand architect of the universe? And I'll wait, because most of you are just repeating what you heard. Why do you even say so more be? So more be. Why do you say that after prayer? Because most of you are repeating what's been told to you and what you see. So you just you regurgitate it. That's not, man, I'm telling you, when you indulge yourself in Freemasonry and really enjoy the craft, this is what you're going to get. And most of you don't get this when you go to your lodge meetings. You know what you get when you go to your lodge meeting? When is the next dinner? When is the next cookout? When is the next fundraiser? That's what you get. But I'm talking about when you go, you're supposed to get this when you go to your lodge meetings. These are the conversations you're supposed to have that I'm having with you tonight. But you're not getting that. You're supposed to have this type of conversation that's supposed to open that third eye, but you don't get it. You're supposed to have this conversation that's supposed to intrigue you, to draw you in, to make you want to read more and go study more and break down things more. But you don't get that. He destroyed himself, and he had a fools cutting themselves and drinking cat blood. Yeah, he did. Crowley truly was a madman. You know what happened to him, right? I'm gonna tell you. So in the essence of that, when he began to go down the rabbit hole, he couldn't come back out of it. I'm gonna tell you, when Crowley began to go down the rabbit hole, he couldn't come out of it. That's why I even say for myself, if I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole, I'm gonna drop some breadcrumbs along the way. Truly drop some breadcrumbs along the way, because there is information out here. There are things out here. If you allow it to come into you, it will destroy you. It will drive you crazy. So you have to be aware of what you allow to enter you, and then it goes out. It's a fact. Magi is right. You know, he destroyed himself because he was going down. He was involved with so many different, I don't want to say groups or organizations. Let me say he was involved with so many societies, secret societies. And I say secret because many of us don't know too much about the Golden Dawn. There are so many different societies out here that a person can be part of until you totally miss it. That's what makes Manly P. Hall so unique. Manly P. Hall was able to go in and come out of it in such a way that he can break it down to you and hand it to you on a silver plate. But most of us can indulge with Manly P. Hall because what he says and what he does. That's how he became a Mason. Manly P. Hall wasn't originally a Mason. Masons heard Manly P. Hall speak on the different things inside of Masonry and brought him in and made him a Mason. And then after they did that, he stopped doing public speaking. Go back and check out Manly P. Hall. See, this is what happens. Even with Aleister Crowley, you know, they couldn't control him. When I say they couldn't control him, those who was in the Masonic atmosphere couldn't control him. He had been initiated, passed, and raised. He wanted more. So once that happened, he became part of the Golden Dawn. He was part of the OTO. Those different groups, those different societies open up different Pandora box for you. And when he began to go in these different Pandora boxes, he began to understand language and how language was able to move and to do things. When you begin to understand that, he was beginning to go down these hallways and couldn't come back. Oh yeah, the man was a master at words, numbers, and so in being caught up in all of that, it was like, wow, you know. So if you're Manly P. Hall Research Center, got some good books, man. Oh yeah, every now and then I'm in LA, and I'm glad you put that out there. So I'll say, for instance, when conjuring up names, and there are names you shouldn't even try to pronounce. I mean, really, there are names of things that you should not even try to pronounce because of the the etymology of the word itself and what it means. Okay, I'm going to give you a small example. When people say MF, when they use that word MF, when you understand where the word comes from, you shouldn't even say the word. I'm going to say that again. The word MF, when you understand where the word came from or comes from, the etymology of the word, we should never, ever want to read the word, say the word. We should, especially if you're black. But because we don't know, we say it so freely. Oh man, money. Oh man, money. Because we don't understand it. And when you don't understand it, you say something so freely, you don't, man, it is wild. It is a wild moment. Oh yeah, the rabbit hole can get you deep. Absolutely. That's why I said leave breadcrumbs. That's why I say if you choose to go down those rabbit holes in the Masonic order and those different degrees and rights and what they actually mean and how they correspond to the zodiac sign and how they transform in numbers and why it takes you 81 months divided by 9 times 9, 81 and 91 and gets you to your 32nd degree. When you're doing all of that, it's going to open up those like wow moments. But you don't do that. See, when you become a 32nd degree, it's supposed to take you 81 months. Supposed to. But I know people get them like instantly in occasions. But when you don't understand why it should take 81 months divided by 3, 9, 7, 3, 3, something like that, and all of these numbers that are directly responsible for opening up, man, you're going to have that moment. Read Diary of Dope Fiend. Really? Okay. Manly P. Hall, you're right about certain curse words. Crowley, man, don't joke about step on a crack, break your mama's back. I'm telling you. See, a lot of time, what we do in Freemasonry is that we play with it. Look, I enjoy the craft. I do. I enjoy the journey. But what I also do is like to read a good book in regards to the etymology of words, what they mean. I like numbers, how they play a part. If you look at the alphabet, I like all of that because it plays a direct part in Freemasonry. You're not going to get that when you go to your lodge meetings. You're not. I don't care if you're in mainstream. I don't care if you're Prince Hall, Modern, Free, International. A lot of you don't get that. And you don't get it because those who bring you in don't go and indulge themselves. Those who are part of your Masonic circle don't talk about it because they don't know about it. So they like to have parties. They like to have good times. And there's nothing wrong with it. But you also should understand what you are truly a part of. And most of us don't get it. Most of us take these oaths and these obligations. You don't realize what you're saying and how they really impart those things that are differently in your life. Most of you don't even understand how is it that Masonry can take on individuals from various Masonic religious-based organizations. Because Masonry doesn't care about your religious etymology. It doesn't. It brings you in. And once it brings you in, it tells you to go research that which you are a part of. See, the book of your faith is supposed to be the ruler and guide of your life. But because you don't break the book open and you don't read it, you're just living. You don't understand the principles behind that which you are a part of. So what you do is, oh, I'm a Christian, so I'm a Mason. I'm a Muslim, so I'm a Mason. I'm a this. I'm a Catholic, so I'm a Mason. But you don't crack the book open. And when you don't crack the book open, you don't understand it. So when people tell you, oh, you don't know, oh man, what are you talking about? You don't know. You really don't know. Because most of you couldn't tell me what did it take what did it take Hammer Tyree's body after they brought him, raised him? What did it take the body to? What did they do with his heart? Oh, see, I'm just saying, there are parts to the story that doesn't get talked about a lot. You know, where did they take King Solomon's body when they raised it? Where did they plant his heart? Where did they bury his heart? Yeah, they did that. They did that. They did exactly that. Who's knocking on the door? What's up there, Grandmaster? How you holding? I'm just saying, because what we do is we become Masons, but we don't do anything other than become. Because you say, I'm part of a worldwide brotherhood. Okay. We recognize. What does that mean? But do you actually apply that which has been handed to you? That's the thing you have to ask yourself. Have you actually applied that which has been handed to you? Do me a favor, please hit the like button. Share the content. Subscribe to the channel. But I'm just saying, in all of this information that's been handed out to you and how it's broken down and given to you on a silver platter, most of you don't even indulge in it. Because I would tell you this, it would scare the shit out of a lot of you. Plain and simple. Being honest. If you really broke it down and got into it, some of you would actually quit. Because you'd be like, no, man, no. But you don't even go back and reach your 33rd obligation. Where did you go in that? I'm going to share this with you. For those of you who are 33rds, there's a movie out right now called The Cardinal. Go look at the movie. That's all I'm going to say. For those of you who are 33rds, go see the movie Cardinal. It should enlighten you on some things. Plain and simple. Because see, your Supreme Council is set up just like the Roman Church. I said that. I said the Supreme Council is set up just like the Roman Church. Your sovereign grand commander is your Pope. But you don't think so, right? So your 32nd degrees, your sublime prince, are your bishops. Your grand inspector generals are your cardinals. They elect the Pope. Or they elect your sovereign grand commander. Oh, we can go on. I'm just saying how it's broken down. I'm just saying how you should actually see it. I'm just saying that it's in your face every day, but because you're so blinded and you're so happy until you don't see it. That's real talk. Go look at how the Roman Catholic Church is set up. As a matter of fact, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. For you 33rds, go look at your certificate. It's gonna say the Holy See. Look up the word Holy See on your certificate and see what it means. Come back and holler at me later. I ain't gotta lie to you. I'm just saying this is some things you should do. Plain and simple. Blazing Star, what's going on with you? Georgia, all right. I'm just looking at it in this totality, and I want to share the information with you because you know what? When I leave this earthly plane and I transition to a celestial plane, this is all going to be left. Listen to what I say again. When I transition from an earthly plane into that of a celestial plane, this is all that's going to be left. So you must understand that when you begin to indulge yourself into this thing we call Freemasonry, and it wasn't always called Freemasonry. It was called something different. Oh, it came from the Knights Templar. Oh, it came from the Stone Age. The Stone Masons. Come, give me a break. Give me a break. Just pause it for a minute. Pause it just for a minute. For those of you who really think this thing we call Freemasonry evolved out of the Stone Masons. King Cam, what's going on? Just for a moment, I'm going to tell you this right now. And I know you've heard this before. For those of you who believe that Freemasonry evolved out of the stonemason and building of the Gaels, you're absolutely incorrect. That's a fact. Some of you may say, well, brother, how did you come on? How do you figure it's a fact? Because I read books and I understand that the process of enlightenment come through a rites of ceremonies, a rites of passage. When you think of the Christ, the enlightenment of ones, the Christ, then you understand that when your mind is open, you become Christ-like. You become elevated. You become enlightened, illuminated. But because when you think of Christ, the man, you got to wonder, he disappears and then he comes on the scene. He's 30 years old and then at 33, he fades away. Why is that? You got to realize that this man we call Jesus Christ, per se, went through a rites of passage. And then when he popped on the scene, because of his enlightenment, nobody could touch him. Nobody could touch him because of his enlightenment. He was elevated into the priesthood of Melchizedek. Oh, you'll catch that on the way home. Somebody come back and talk to me later. Melchizedek. And people, oh, Melchizedek, what are you talking about? It's the rabbit hole. See, when you go down these different genres, when you crack these different books open and they begin to enlighten you on different aspects and things, man, nah, it becomes more real. It becomes like, I got it now. I understand it now, you know. But because of our mindset, we're so Americanized in our process until we become sleep. I'm going to say that again. Because we're so Americanized in our standards and our process, we become sleep. You have yet to be awakened, because what happens, this is what I find, is that I need somebody to say who I am. I need you to say, I am a Mason. I need you to solidify that I am who I say I am. I don't need that. I don't need it. I already know. So you wait on someone to say that you are who you claim to be already. No, I don't need you. I don't need you to proclaim who I am. I already know. So when I crack the book open and I begin to indulge in it, I'm like, okay, I got it. Oh, for sure. Not only did he go away to study, he was brought into these rites and ceremonies. Oh, man, look. It is so much information out here. People talk about AI. We are AI. I'm going to say that again. We are AI because we gave this artificial intelligence all the information that is in us all, and it connected. We are AI. You'll catch that on the way home. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say that again. You'll catch that on the way home. See, when you say Memphis, Egypt, a lot of people won't catch that, but I get it. Man, the system of Masonry, before it was corrupted, is an excellent system. And today it's still an excellent system if you know how to navigate it. But the system has been corrupted. And what they've done with the system of Freemasonry is they put limitations on it. And this is what they've done. They've put limitations on it in such a way to you need someone to say that, yeah, he's a Mason. You need someone to say, yeah, he's a Mason, or even she's a Mason. So you need someone to clarify and to vouch for you. And so the system has been corrupted. If they'd have just really done what they're supposed to do with the system, it wouldn't be so corrupt as it is today. They have made the system of Masonry a monetary system. You know, oh, you got to pay dues, or you got to pay membership fees, or you got to do this, and we got to have banquets, and we got to have grand sessions, we got to have supreme sessions. We got to do these things to say that, hey, look at me. Hello. No, the system was never meant to be that way. But the system got corrupted and the system got overtaken from those who brought it in and said, you know what? They don't need to know these things. We're a charitable organization. We have hospitals. We make donations. We give money. And all those things are great. But what else? Come on, somebody talk back to me. What else? You know? Can I help you? Help you do what, brother? Help you do what? Dues and chicken dinners. Absolutely. You know, Brother Diaz says a church mentality. It's really beyond that mentality. It's far beyond that. The system is designed to build the community, but first, the mind of man. They're going to miss that. Because Freemasonry is a society. It truly is. It's principles. It's everything. If applied properly, if properly read, if properly applied, if properly done, it can actually, it can do that. Yeah, King Cat. Yeah, it can actually do that. But it ain't going to happen because too many people have been hook, wink, and bamboozled by other societies within the framework of Freemasonry because you need me to say that you are a Mason. You need me to say that. I don't need you to say that. I've gone through the ritualistic rites and ceremonies. If you choose to accept me as your brother, great. If not, it's okay. But this is what we do. And so in the process of understanding the whole thing, I would say this book right here, The Lesser Keys of King Solomon, if you get this book and read it, please drop some breadcrumbs along the way. Don't drink any alcohol. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. Don't smoke nothing. Don't do that. When you read this book, read it clearly. Be sober-minded. Okay? Be sober-minded. Because you might want to leave Masonry afterwards. I'm just saying. Here's another one. And like I said, I've shared these two books before, but I've gone back and indulged in it. So therefore, if I'm like, damn, you know, I'm having a moment myself. I'm like, oh, you know, this is another one. Okay. This is another one. And I'm going to tell you, Brother Walker of Keystone Grand Lodge, North Carolina. When I went to North Carolina, his brother stopped by to see me and dropped me off he dropped me off 4 books. I gave 2 of them away. I'm saying that the 2 that I have, when I crack them open and I begin to indulge in them, I have to set them aside. I do. I have to set the book down because of the information. And I have to understand, is this real? Or is this person BSing me? So I have to go and look and break it down so I can eat. I'm going to say this again. I have to break it down, put it on a plate so I can eat. Because if I continue to just read and read and read and not understand it, then I'm messed up. You ready? Okay, you ready. So look.
It's 8:10.
It's 8:10. I got to go. I got to go. I wish I could have brought more to you. But look, I gotta go. I'm gonna come back with a part 2. So look, whatever you do, stay out the bush, keep your light on. Until next time, I'm out. I gotta go. Peace and be well.